by Best Player of the Game, Kelly Williams, and winning coach, Coach Chot Reyes. Congratulations, gentlemen. Coach Chot, the first half looked a bit reminiscent of your first quarter last game, but tonight you showed a stronger bounce back after your 42-point third quarter explosion. What did you specify in the dugout at the half that just pushed a different tone and allowed you to break through tonight?
The most important thing was at halftime just to make sure that we felt that we hadn't given up yet. That's the most important thing, to make sure the players were of the belief that we were still in the ball game despite being down 20. And then we just narrowed our focus. We narrowed our focus down to taking away their three-point shots because they were killing us on all fronts in the first half. They were making their threes, they were getting penetrations, and they were getting free throws. So we were giving up. They were getting everything that they wanted. So we said, okay, if we're gonna focus on one thing in the second half, let's focus on shutting down their three-point shooting. So we adjusted our defense to take that away. Number one, and then. Offensively, we did very little. We thought that if we made enough defensive stops, that would give us enough opportunities to run and transition and score points. And I think in the end, that's what happened. And Kelly did a great job on Perkins at 20 in the first half. He ended up with just 28, so 8 in the second. That was I think the big difference. We were able to shut down their top scorer in the second half, and Kelly had a lot to do with that. I think that's in a nutshell the story.
Coach, you've been very vocal in saying that the team is no longer the same quote-unquote mighty TNT, but with your ability to bounce back as you've done tonight, what is your belief level about reaching the standard that you've set for the team, especially as you have only 2 remaining games in the elimination?
We're still a work in progress. We're very far, I think, from the elite teams in the league. And we've talked about it a lot as a team. We haven't played a complete game yet. In Ginebra, we played the terrible first half, a great second half. And when you play teams, quality teams like that, it's hard to win games, right? Same thing today. Terrible first half, great second half. So we have to continue working and finding solutions to be able to play a full 48 minutes. Even before thinking about the next 2 games, that's our bigger priority. How can we put together a full 48-minute quality game?
Thank you, Coach. Kelly, now on to you. You came alive in the third quarter. The challenge for veterans is to be able to discern when it is time for them to take over and when they should take a step back and facilitate and allow their teammates to score. What did you see in the third that just told you that it was your time to start the fire for the team?
At halftime, it was, for me, checking my ego, checking myself, seeing what I can do, because to help the team, because that's what Coach brought me in and brought me back to do, to help the team out whatever I could do. So that's the story of the season. That's the story of my career. Just come in and do what the team needs. And so I had to check myself at halftime. And Coach said it. We pick our poisons with a talented team like Phoenix, and we just locked in on what we had to do. We were all doing the same thing.
Picking up on what you said, from picking your poison as you close in the elimination round with these last 2 games, what would you like to see from yourself and your teammates to avoid having to be under the pressure of trying to catch up as you have done tonight and your last game?
I think Coach said it. We just want to be able to put together a complete game. I think that's the focus for us now. I think it's important for all of us to reflect on what we can do to improve and be locked in from the first minute to the 48th. And I think, like Coach said, before we even think about the next game, for the next practices, I think that's the focus. How can we come in right in the first minute and play at the level we know we can play at?
This one for opening in the fourth.
Coach, congratulations. So regarding yung mga hinahanap nyo, yung playing a full 48-minute game, the last 3 games, puro kayo umabot from double-digit deficit. So, in terms of yung kaya nung makabalik, is that, do you consider that a positive moving forward in order na ma-achieve nyo nga yung gusto ng full 48-minute game?
Well, I think our ability to win these close games is going to matter later on if we can get there. The problem is, can we get there? But if we are playing, unless we're able to string together a 48-minute game, we're not going to be able to get in a position where we will be in a must-win situation for a semis berth or a finals berth where it really matters the most. So that's why I said, for us, even before thinking about those things, we have to figure out that what we need to do first to get to those 40, that full 48-minute game. So I think it's going to help us down the line if we can get there. So, the most important thing is for us to get there first. Yun muna ang problemahin namin. We have to get there first.
Especially coach yung sa standings,
Yeah. Dikit-dikit eh, yeah. Yeah, dikit-dikit lahat eh. So nobody has a lock on anything right now. I think the only one is San Miguel. Other than that, everyone else is one loss is going to really mean a lot in the scheme of things.
Coach, yung ano niyo po, yung 1-2 punch niya si Calvin of Tana and Roger Pogue has been playing very well. What's been different na this conference na parang yung potential talaga na when they're playing together, maganda yung nagiging result?
Just the familiarity and yung nagkakaamuyan, they're just getting to know. They understand how to play off each other. That's most important. And also the way their teammates set them up. I think that's very important. Number one, giving them space to operate and making sure that they are able to cover a lot of things to allow them to do what they do best. And I think in the end, that's what a team is all about. But we've had games where both of them scored very well, but unless we had a Kelly or a Kim Aurin or a Glenn Kubuntin also scoring in double digits off the bench, it's not enough. So I think today we had that. We had Glenn, we had Kim, and we had Kelly. So that augments the efforts of Roger and Calvin very well.
Kelly, just a follow-up on the coach was saying that TNT is no longer the mighty TNT that it once was. You were part of that era. What can you say about this era of TNT where each wins, like, it's been challenging, you have to earn every win?
Yeah. In past teams, past groups, we've had difficult conferences as well. I think now it's just where we have a lot of young guys. We have guys that are still not only learning the system but learning the culture and how we manage each other, how we work together, from management to coaches to players. And I think that's been the bigger part of our success in the past. So there's a lot of learning. There's a lot of adjustments. Coach is big on being able to pivot and adjust in times that are difficult. So we're all learning. And like Coach said, I think we have the capability to get to where we want to be. It's just going to take some time and guys really reflecting on self and reflecting on what the team needs from each one to throw the biggest punch we have in these last few games and hopefully get to the playoffs.
Question for Kelly. Kelly, you faced off with Burke in the paint numerous times in your career, but this season, Burke is proving to be improving, especially on the scoring end. So what can you say just about this improvement on his all-around game, and how was it like facing off with him tonight?
Yeah, but Burke has always been a great matchup that I love to match up with. And after every game, I always tell him just to keep doing what he's doing, stay aggressive, and it's good to see his growth as a player. And if he stays locked in and keeps the right attitude, he's gonna really do some more damage in the next few years.
Coach Schott mentioned that he was limited to just 8 points in that second half. How hard was it to limit him to just 8 points?
My personal mentality against any player, whether it's Junmar or whoever, it's not really to limit any productivity. It's just to give them some resistance and make it difficult for them. I just want to stay in front of Perk tonight and give him some resistance and make him a little bit uncomfortable. I think he was a little too comfortable in the first half, and he was able to get what he wanted. But that's part of the game, being able to adjust and know that and put yourself in a position to be able to stop a talented player like Perkins.
Coach, dito sa Igay, with the younger players, yung mga veteran players like Vogel and Merbaroka have been playing really well. What can you say about na you can rely on Kelly to deliver in this kind of games?
Two things, challenge and conditioning. So the veterans are seeing the challenge from the young ones, and they're doing extra work on their conditioning. And we're seeing that in the games of guys like Kelly and Mark and Bo and even Perk. We know everyone in the league now is paying extra attention to their nutrition, to their off-court work, really improving on their conditioning regimen, their fitness. So that's what we're seeing now. The influx of young blood has been very good for the league. It's been very difficult for us. Before, kami sa Toketex, even if we had a bad game, we know certain games are sure wins. That's no longer the case. Every game now, doesn't matter who we play, every game we know is going to be a challenge. It demands our best. So it's more difficult for us, but I think it's good for the league. That challenge is forcing the vets to really up their not their game but their conditioning, because we all know their skill. Wala namang question sa skill. These guys are all skilled. That's why they're here, right? Kelly and Bo and Mark, Jason, C-Stan, Japet. There's no question about their skills, right? So they're all upping their conditioning, and that's brought about by the challenge, seeing all the young blood coming in.
Thank you, gentlemen. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.